Welcome back to Triple Bogey Golf. Today we're diving into a detailed comparison of the new Titleist ProV1 RPT and the Callaway ChromeSoft X RPT golf balls. I'll be blending data-driven insights from the robot testing with my personal experience of hitting around 300 shots here in the sim. Stick around to see which ball might be the best for you. First, let's talk about what makes these golf balls special. Both the Titleist ProV1 RPT and the Callaway ChromeSoft X RPT have this unique and precise dot pattern. This is what Rapsodo refers to as its Rapsodo Precision Technology, hence RPT. These were designed specifically to work with the Rapsodo MLM2 Pro and its Impact Vision camera. The Impact Vision camera is a front-facing camera that shoots in infrared at 240 frames per second. This enables highly accurate spin access and spin rate data. All right, so time for this blended analysis, this robot data we were talking about. I went to the internet and I found out that these balls have both been extensively tested. And today's golfer, I'll put the link in the description, these guys have done a full test of 28 different golf balls using a robot to find out what are the true characteristics of the golf ball. I mean, my whole goal of this video was to decide, hey, which one of these should I buy for my MLM2 Pro? Is one really better for me than the other? I've seen guys say, oh, I get 10 more yards, or, you know, this one spins less. What is the truth behind it? That's what I really wanted to figure out, and I thought I'd share that with y'all. So in this article, and I'll just pan through it real quickly, but again, the link is in the description. These guys used a robot. I think that's a $100,000 robot. They set it up. They basically hit driver with 3 different speeds. They hit 7-iron at 80 miles an hour and a wedge at 74 miles an hour. With each of them, they hit a dozen golf balls, and they only hit each golf ball once, but you can read about their test data. They used a GC quad. They did it indoors, quad being the standard for the data, and then each ball, like I said, was hit only once. Today, we're looking at 2 golf balls. We want to see the ProV1, which is a 3-piece golf ball here. 3-piece golf balls have urethane covers on them and essentially allow you to get more spin and feel around the green, whereas our ChromeSoft X, that's going to be a 4-piece golf ball, and that is where we've got a core and then a thicker layer, another layer on the outside, and then your urethane cover. These balls were designed to fly a little bit higher for a little higher clubhead speed, but also give you that spin. So that's where our ChromeSoft X is. That's a premium tour level ball. That's 4-piece. The Titleist is a 3-piece. So when I looked at the robot data, the ChromeSoft X, comes in. John Rahm plays it, is one of the things I noted. You expect a slightly lower, more penetrating flight, more workable shot in nature. The ChromeSoft X is a compression 100. So that's a higher compression ball. Higher swing speeds need to come into that golf ball to compress it fully. So I guess what we could expect is that possibly this ball will work good if you have high swing speeds. Let's continue on. They tested the Callaway ChromeSoft, all these different metrics. I've got them in a chart for you here down the line. They only really make sense if you look at them in comparison to other golf balls. You can look at their verdict. Their verdict is Callaway's most played tour ball. This was the 3 fastest across all the driver speeds. It produced 400 and some more spin on the 7-irons and almost 400 more spin on the wedges. It was also 10% tighter in its shot area than the test average. We'll see how the ProV1 compares to that. So on the ProV1, again, this is a 3-piece ball. This is for people that are looking for a very low long game spin, so low long iron spin, low driver spin, more penetrating flight, and a little bit softer feel. The ProV1, if you look, the compression is 87 to 90. So this is a lower compression ball. You do not need as much clubhead speed coming into the ball to compress it fully and for it to take flight. The feel is going to be soft in comparison to, say, the Callaway ChromeSoft X. Again, there's your data. It doesn't make a lot of sense unless you look at the ball's data side by side, which I'll have coming up. And what they said, still a benchmark ball, but Callaway might have cracked it, okay? So that compared to the ChromeSoft X, the ProV1 is slower and shorter on our 100, 115 driver speeds, and also with the 7-iron. Talking very small amounts, no more than a yard. And then it will spin less with the 7-iron, about 176 RPMs, and the wedge, 350 RPMs. Biggest thing I saw here was in their test data, the ProV1 had a larger shot area. Now this is across wedges, 7-irons, and drivers by 30%. So the dispersion of those golf balls was 30% wider than was the Chrome Soft X. One thing I noted here was that the shot area, that's the dispersion of the golf balls where they finished. They talk about how it grew from all of the swing speeds. So it was about 42 square yards at 85 miles an hour. When you went up to 100 miles an hour, suddenly it was 56 square yards. So that's about a 7 by 8 yard area. And then up to 117 square yards when you go up to 115 mile an hour swing speeds. This little chart, very hard to read, sum it up quick. The Chrome Soft X was 242 yards across all of them with a 56-yard dispersion, and the Titleist ProV1 was 242.9. Identical on the distances, the dispersion a little bit greater on the ProV1. This next chart is a chart that shows backspin on the drivers at the 100 and 115 mile an hour swing speeds. What you'll notice here is that the Titleist was 23.97 across those two speeds, and the Callaway Chrome Soft X was 24.47. A little bit higher on the spin rate. Here's how the balls fared for peak height with a 7-iron. The Callaway Chrome Soft X was sort of in the middle, 87 feet high. The Titleist ProV1 was 86.9, one of the lower flighted golf balls in all that they tested. So you're going to hit the Chrome Soft a little bit higher than you will the Titleist ProV1. This next chart is wedge spin. The Chrome Soft X spins more than the Titleist ProV1. Titleist ProV1 7600, Chrome Soft X 7997. Okay, this is a chart that just shows the 3-piece tour and the 4-piece tour averaged across all the golf balls. The only thing I really noted is the 4-piece tour golf ball averaged a couple yards longer. And this chart is going to show us the driver data. You can see the longest carry distance at the 85 mile an hour swing speed in their testing was the Callaway Super Soft. And if we go down one page, you can see that the Titleist ProV1 ranks about a half a yard longer than the Callaway Chrome Soft X for the 85 mile an hour swing speeds. For the 100 mile an hour data, the winner was the ERC Soft at 244. And as we scroll down, you can find the Callaway Chrome Soft X edging out the Titleist ProV1 only in the ball speed category. And the spin category, their end result was exactly the same on the yardage or the distance. So for drivers right now, it's the Titleist was a little bit longer at 85 miles an hour. They're equal at 100 miles an hour. And if we scroll down to the 115 mile an hour driver data, the Callaway Chrome Soft X comes in at the second highest ball speed, 167.8. And it is fourth on the distance for carry. The Titleist ProV1 carry distance was a yard lower, and the ball speed was about 1 mile an hour slower. That's on their 115 driver. If we go to the 7-iron data, you're going to see the Callaway Chrome Soft X, 146.6 was the carry distance. Tied for second on ball speed for the Callaway Chrome Soft X, and the Titleist ProV1, 146.5. 0.1 difference on carry yards, almost identical ball carry-wise. More ball speed on the Chrome Soft, more spin on the Chrome Soft. As we get into the pitching wedge, this is measured on backspin. Backspin for the PXG Extreme, 8100. Chrome Soft X came in at 7900 in 5th place. And the Titleist ProV1, 7600, quite a bit less, 300 RPMs than the Chrome Soft X was on the pitching wedge. And then lastly, in their summary, they had what they called their most accurate ball chart. This is measured basically across all the clubs. How wide is the dispersion pattern for each ball? The Callaway Chrome Soft X came in at 28 square yards, a little bit behind the Wilson Staff Triad, Wilson Staff Model, where they have this moment of inertia ball where all of the weight in the ball is actually on the outer part, where most balls, the weight is centered towards the core. So those ones with the outer weight actually have the lowest dispersion pattern. But again, Callaway Chrome Soft X coming in at 10th place. And if we scroll down, Titleist ProV1 had a 40 square yard dispersion. Chrome Soft X, 28 square yard. So that's the robot data. And what I would say about the robot data is I'm getting the feel from the robot data that the ProV1 is going to fly a little farther when your swing speeds are low, like the 85-mile-an-hour driver. You're going to get a little less spin on it. It's going to flight a little lower, also going to feel a little bit softer. It's almost the same in the testing as the Callaway ChromeSoft X. The ChromeSoft X is really going to excel, it looks like from the robot data, when swing speeds are high, like that 115-mile-an-hour swing speed. It was one of the fastest balls in their testing. Also, the dispersion pattern seemed to be a little bit tighter than the ProV1 X, but it is a ball that spins a lot and is geared for higher swing speeds. Now, let's dive into my personal findings. I hit about 300 shots, 150 with each of those golf balls. Exhausting. What I did was I took a new sleeve of the Callaways and a new sleeve of the ProV1s, and I hit 3 Callaways, then 3 ProV1s, and then I did it again. 3 Callaways, 3 ProV1s, rotated through the bag, hitting probably 30 shots with each club. Hit some chip shots with the lob wedge, then sand wedge, 8-iron, 6-iron, 4-iron, and then driver. I aggregated that data into an Excel sheet and came up with my averages. I laid those averages into a table with the robot data, as well as they had a pro who did some testing in their article. I threw his data in there as well. And my point of that was to see if there was any trends between how I hit them, how that pro in the article hit them, and how the robot data came out. So let's just talk about that. So let's start with the lob wedge and the sand wedge. The pro and the robot didn't hit in these categories, so let's just talk about how it felt for me. And what I noticed was that the Titleist felt a little softer. The data came back and showed me that the ChromeSoft X spun a little bit more, about 600 RPMs more than the Titleist did with my sand wedge, which were full shots. And the Titleist, however, did fly a little farther with a little lower spin rate and a little lower launch angle. The half shots I hit, 50 yarders with the lob wedge, same sort of feel. Softer feeling with the Titleist, however, much more spin, 300 RPM with the lob wedge, hitting half shots and about 50 yards, total. The flight on the Titleist was a little bit lower, but there was less spin. It did travel a little bit further. So that's, I would just say on the wedges, the Titleist feels softer, but it does not spin as much. Now let's look at the pitching wedge. This is one where the pro and the robot did have data. The robot, they didn't give us all the data, but either way, let's take a look. For me, it felt, again, I could still feel the Titleist a little bit softer at impact. The data showed that I spun the ChromeSoft X 700 more RPM. That's quite a bit. The descent angle, the launch, very similar. More ball speed with the ChromeSoft X for me, really resulting in a very similar end result. I traveled the ball about 2 yards or a yard further with the ProV1 than I did with the ChromeSoft X, but very similar, just a higher spinning ball coming off of the ChromeSoft X. The Anonymous Pro that was also submitted data, almost identical results as me. As if you look up above, his carry was the exact same with both balls. He spun about 500 more RPM on the ChromeSoft X, and he had a 1 mile-an-hour ball speed greater on the ChromeSoft X. So both had very similar end results there. The robot showed that the carry yardage on the ProV1 was 1 yard further, and it also showed and agreed with us that the spin is higher. So in this category, pitching wedge, you're going to find that the ChromeSoft X spins higher. Both balls are going to fly about the same yardage. Next, we'll talk about 8-iron and 7-irons is what the pro and the robot hit. So for me, the 8-iron, I started to kind of lose sort of the feel of the ball, I guess. But the data showed me the ProV1 had about a mile-an-hour higher club head speed, and I flew it 2 yards further, and it ended up about 1.5 yards further. Spin was still higher on the ChromeSoft than it was the ProV1. So again, we're seeing a ball that has less spin coming off with the ProV1, traveling a little bit further in this case due to the little bit higher club or ball speed at lower club head speeds. It's a lower compression ball, so the ball reacts to lower club head speeds more so than the ChromeSoft X, which is a higher compression ball. The Pro, you can see one row up from me, same results as I did. He had a higher spinning ball with the ChromeSoft X, but he had a faster ball with the ProV1 at these lower club head speeds, resulting in the ProV1 carrying further but spinning less. So less drop and stop on the green, but maybe a few more yards. The robot showed that the club heads or the ball speeds were nearly identical. Actually, they had Titleist less, and the spin rate was higher on the ChromeSoft X. So what we were all in agreement on is spin is still higher on the ChromeSoft X. Flight and distance,
very, very similar. The robot had them almost identical here at the 7-iron stage. Next, I got into my 6-iron. My 6-iron was very similar to what the 7-iron results were. Not a lot to talk about. Ball speed similar, spin 300 higher, and the Titleist ended up being a yard further, carrying almost 2 yards further. The 4-iron is where I started to see difference in ball speed. It's where the higher club head speeds are now compressing that ball, and you're seeing 2-mile-an-hour difference for me on the 4-iron with the Callaway Chrome Soft X, and I'm still maintaining with that additional speed more spin. So I've got 4,700 spin, whereas on the ProV1, just 4,400. And that 300 could be a big deal for stopping the ball on a green when you're coming in with a carry of 206 yards. The Chrome Soft X ended up being a yard farther in total, and the carry was almost 2 yards further total. And last, we have the driver. And for me, the driver, I kind of got the result I expected. My driver club head speed on average in this test was 111.5. And that's pretty typical. My ball speed, 164.8 with the Callaway Chrome Soft X, 163.9 with the ProV1. So 1 mile an hour lower club head speed on the ProV1. It is a compression 90, where the Chrome Soft X is a compression 100. So I expected the X to go a little further, and it did. The spin, almost identical. I spun the Chrome Soft X 30 RPMs more. I think it was expected that I might spin the ProV1 more based on the robot data, but I spun them almost even. And the carry yard was 290 versus 287 on the ProV1. So the Chrome Soft X for me is a farther golf ball, a faster golf ball. And if I look at the Pro data, the Pro swing speed of 112 and 113 on average, his ball speed was almost a mile and a quarter hour per hour faster on the Chrome Soft, and his carry was 2 yards farther. So my carry was 2.3 yards farther. His was, or mine was almost 3 yards farther. His was 2 yards farther on the carry. If we move up into the robot and we go to the 115 mile an hour club head speed, somewhere I would like to get to, you can see that the ball speed on the Chrome Soft X was about a mile an hour faster. Spin almost identical, and the carry 1 yard further, 1.5 yards further than the Pro V1. As we work down in the driver category to 100 miles an hour, which is the second row, you've got Callaway's still a faster golf ball. The spin rate gets lower on the Titleist in this instance, and their carry yardage is identical, 241.6 to 241.6. And when you go to the 85 mile an hour speed, a little bit slower driver speed, now is where you start to see the lower compression ball catch up, which is the Titleist, catch up to the Chrome Soft. So at the 85 mile an hour swing speed, you have ball speeds almost identical, a tenth of a mile an hour different. You've got a little less spin on the Pro V1, and therefore it carries 1 yard further. I think the biggest difference in these golf balls that I saw was the robot data testing on accuracy. The Chrome Soft X came in with a square yardage accuracy test of 28 square yards, where the Pro V1 came in at 40 square yards. So you've got a little bit more accurate golf ball in the Callaway Chrome Soft X, according to the robot data. On the wedges, I think they were almost identical. Where they started separating was on the 7-irons and the drivers. So a little bit tighter dispersion area. The Titleist Pro V1, it's a lower compression ball, a softer ball. It's got a mid-flight, where the Callaway Chrome Soft X, high compression ball, medium on the feel instead of soft, and it's a high flight ball. So at the end of the day, the numbers really didn't show up to be vastly different. We're talking a couple of yards, and that can be a big deal here and there. But I think what we need to pay more attention to, and what gets it for me, is if I can get a little more ball speed, I want it. I don't want to do it at the expense of spin. And this is going to vary for each player. But when I'm coming into courses from long yardages, I want to be able to keep that spin up and be able to hit that ball high so that it can come down and stop. If you're trying to get a little extra yardage and you have a lower club head speed, the Pro V1 might be the one for you. But if you look through the data, and again, I'll link it down below, these balls are almost identical. If we find out, or it comes to be that one's more durable than the other, that might be the one that's the best to buy for your sim room. So what's the takeaway? Well, if you're looking for a ball that spins a little less, launches a little lower, and is good for lower swing speeds, the Pro V1 is the ball for you. If you're trying to maximize your ball speed and you want to launch the ball high and zip it or control it around the green with a little extra spin, the Chrome Soft X is the way to go. Both balls shine in different aspects, so the one you choose really depends on what fits your game best. Let me know in the comments down below which of the two balls you prefer. And don't forget, hit that like, the subscribe button, and turn on the notifications for future golf insights. Until next time, remember, when life gives you triples, make birdies.